What is going on, guys? Hey, I wanted to come back to you, and I wanted to bring you a video with Matt Walsh. And Matt Walsh here is talking to a transgendered person, mentally ill person. And you see really what the level of absurdities, man, that are going on. And, again, what people, the mental gymnastics they will go through to convince themselves of whatever. But anyways, guys, if you would, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thanks.
How would you define a woman? Because you've asked other people up here to define how we would define a woman. How would you define a woman, Mr. Walsh?
An adult human female.
And how don't trans people, how doesn't a transgender woman fit that definition?
Female.
Because they're not female. They have, you said that you are a biological male, correct?
I said I'm transgender. I might be intersex for all we know. About almost as many people in the world are transgender as intersex, and
well,
a lot of people don't know.
Well, but that's a different conversation. Intersex.
I don't really know if that's true. I really don't. I got a good friend of mine who's intersex, and I don't really think that's true, but I could be wrong.
That's a genetic anomaly. That's a medical condition. So that's a completely different conversation. That's also that's not a third gender. That's a genetic anomaly that occurs.
Yeah, one thing I got to say that being intersex is a condition that you're born with. It's like you said, it's a medical anomaly. It's something that you are born with. You have, it's kind of like some people are born with, one leg or three legs or something. I mean, again, it's a condition that you're born with, but it's improved the rule. But it's a condition that you're born with. It's not a third gender or something like that, like people claim it is.
Within the sex binary of male and female. What you're saying is that a quote-unquote trans woman is a female?
By the definitions I'm familiar with, yes.
So how would you define female?
Through my training in healthcare, there are several different categories for how we define sex. People bring up chromosomes. People also bring up hormone levels. People bring up all sorts of other categories. Lots of people don't fit neatly into a gender binary, even people we don't consider to be intersex. It's a complicated spectrum.
It's not complicated, but you also didn't define. So what is a woman? What is a female? What do these words mean?
It's complicated, and I know you're not going to like that answer, but that's because there are no simple answers in human biology.
Let me ask you a question.
You guys, hang on, just let me finish. You guys like to bring up high school level biology classes a lot. I get that a lot, but people who go on to more complicated biology classes will talk about sex as a spectrum.
It's not. It's not.
Well, biological researchers would disagree with you.
Well, then they're full of the ones that would say that.
Yeah, this whole thing about there being sex as on gender, as on a spectrum, it's not, man. It's not. There's male, there's female. There are people that have conditions that, they have certain traits of one or another or both. But again, that's the exception. That's not the rule. That's something that people are born with. And that, again, that's the exception, not the rule. Like some people are born with, 6, fingers or something, six digits on the hand. But that doesn't mean that there's a spectrum. It means that there is a problem, a condition. There's something going on there. That is the reason why they have more than the 5 digits. Do you understand?
There are male gametes and female gametes. Oh, I had one last question. I just have one. I had one quick. Can you come back for 1 second? Because this is an important question. You said you're an EMT.
Yes.
Okay, if you're responding to a health emergency. Biological male, somebody with a penis, is having a medical emergency, and they say to you, "I think I'm having a miscarriage." Would you check them to see if they're having a miscarriage? Would you consider that a possibility for them?
Look. No, but that's because some people don't have body parts. Doesn't mean they're not a woman.
Okay. Sounds like we've established there are some people who, in principle, can get pregnant, and there are some people who can't. So there's two categories, otherwise known as binary.
Lots of women can't get pregnant either.
Yeah, but they're still of the nature to get pregnant. The only
But
reason
they can't get pregnant.
Yes, but
truth matters, right?
it does. That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
Truth matters, and they can't get pregnant. That's the truth. So how are they still women?
Because they are for the same reason that I can rightly say that human beings have two legs. And if a person is born with only one leg, that doesn't call into question the statement that human beings have two legs, okay? A person being born with one leg doesn't mean that now legs are on a spectrum and we can't say anything at all about how many legs a person has. Who knows? They could be a centipede. You know, they could have 100 legs. No, we know human beings have two legs. If a human is born without two legs, something went wrong. They were supposed to have that second leg. Something went wrong. If you meet a person on the street who only has one leg, maybe they had an accident. Maybe they were in war. Maybe something, you know, maybe they were in a car accident. Maybe they had cancer. A leg was cut off. But you know that something went wrong because by their nature, they're supposed to have two legs. Same thing for a woman. A woman by her nature can get pregnant. A man by his nature never can. So if you meet a woman of childbearing age, say she's 28 years old, and she can't get pregnant, you know automatically that something has gone wrong. And she can go to the doctor and find out what that thing is, even if they can't fix it. So that proves that women by their nature can get pregnant because the simple fact that she can't shows you that there's something wrong. This is what is known as the exception that proves the rule. Whereas if a male with a penis can't get pregnant, no doctor on earth is going to run tests to see what's wrong with him. Because they already know it's that he's a male, and there's only male and female, those who can get pregnant and those who can't. So, that's it.
You know what, guys, man? I never thought we'd be in a place in this country, in the world, to where we had to explain there are two, male and female. Yeah, there are intersex people that exist. But intersex people, that's about 1% thereabouts of the population. And that's kind of the exception that proves the rule. Because we understand if you're born with certain conditions, if you're born with certain characteristics of both, then you were born, different, right? So if you're born different, then that kind of proves the rule that there are two. Because you're born different. So again, man, that's kind of the exception that proves the rule. And that's one thing we got to understand. There's not 47 different types of different combinations or different. No, there are two. And again, man, there's a small number of people in the population who are intersex. And that's a condition. You know, kind of like people that are born with 5 fingers and 2 thumbs. You know, again, we understand that is not normal. That's not something that's normal. You're born with 4 fingers and a thumb. That is the way humans are born. And if you have more or less, then there's something going on. You were born with a condition, right? The same thing with your legs, man. If you were born with one leg, again, something went wrong. something went wrong in your development. And we know this. We're like, yeah. But it doesn't mean there's a spectrum out there of people that have, no, that's not normal. They have a condition. Something went wrong. And we get that. But again, man, the thing is, people want to be affirmed. We're trying to make everyone so special out there. And the thing is, yeah, you might have a condition. And most people that are transgender, they don't have conditions except something going wrong up here. That's it. Something is wrong up there. And they're trying to make you make that to be normal. And that's not normal. Again, man, if somebody down the street says, Eric, there's a dragon down the street. No, there's not. I'm sure there's not. But, again, if do I need to affirm that person who believes there's a pink giraffe, driving a car? No. Because, again, we understand there's something wrong with that person. Again, I'm not saying we need to make fun of that person. Of course not. But there's something wrong with them. And we don't need to affirm that. We need to understand there's something wrong with them. It's that simple. So, again, we have got to get on board in this country and in the world to where we call things for what they truly are. Mental illness. I mean, there's something wrong, spiritual, whatever. But there is something wrong within them. And that's what you need to really get to. And stop affirming sickness. Because that's what we're doing. But hey guys, if you would, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thanks.
You son of a